And people, in their interest in using fewer pesticides, are doing so because of the lack of effectiveness of pesticides, increasing lack of them because of bugs and other things that accommodate themselves. And we haven't mentioned the environment, the E word.
Yes.
But it's my understanding that a lot of farmers and people associated with farming are concerned about the effects of farming on the environment, and that's another one of the reasons why sustainable agriculture practices and philosophy are growing.
Absolutely true. Once farmers in Iowa began to see results of tests of their well water showing that their supposedly careful applications of pesticides and fertilizers were appearing in their own well water. It made a lot of converts.
That would bring it home.
Yes, and there's the famous story of the fruit grower in California whose son had leukemia, and there was some suspicion that this came from the chemicals that the family had been using on the farm, and when those were eliminated with the help of doctors, the boy recovered. And there are just enough cases like that to make people believers. There are also enough cases of farmers who are doing it successfully and being profitable while they're not having to spend the money for pesticides and chemical fertilizers.
Off-farm inputs.
Yes,
they're called in
and who have found ways to substitute manure and tillage systems and planting dates and sequences of rotations that will answer them questions.
So there are large farmers as well as small-scale farmers I know who are practicing better management practices, more systems approach. What do you think are the barriers to more farmers adopting what we refer to as sustainable practices, some of which you just mentioned?
A lot of them are, I don't want to get too political, but a lot of them are legislative barriers.
No, I'd like you to be open about that.
Well, I'm not an expert on it, but I know that the price supports have been a problem the way that, but now more flexibility has been introduced. And I'm hoping that the SARE program will break down more and more of these barriers. Some of the projects funded are farm system, as you mentioned, system-wide, so that every aspect of the farm enterprise is integrated and balanced, and that's an important move. I should get back to tell you a little bit more about how Lisa became Sarah.
Yes, I'm sorry, we did skip over that.
Yes, we did. The 1990 Farm Bill began to call it sustainable agriculture rather than low input sustainable. So, and it extended the program a bit, added some more funding, and so subsequently the program was renamed SARE. There are calls for proposals sent out by each of the 4 regions, which that are the headquarters for actually administering the program. Very little is done from Washington. There is one in Vermont, one in Georgia, one used to be in California, is now in Utah, and the other is in what did I leave at? Nebraska, University of Nebraska, at Lincoln. I believe that the funding is now up to $8 million.
7 something, yeah, 7.5.
Lost that.
Let's round it up to 8.
Yes, yeah.
What
was I going to say? This is a very small percentage of what the department spends for research in agriculture. But there is a project underway now to for the research agencies to analyze their projects to see how they fit with the goal of sustainable agriculture. Other changes, other new things are the establishment of a national Sustainable Agriculture Advisory Council. Been established by the department, calling in people from many parts of the agricultural scene, from agribusiness to farmers, to advise the SARE program on directions it should take.
And the network, the Sustainable Agriculture Network. I said you were going to talk about SAN.
Yeah, that's not entirely new, but that carries on one of the missions that was originally seen for what was then the LISA program. It took a while to get it underway. So many other things had to be started first. Sustainable Agriculture Network was started, let's see, what was it, 1990, I think. People, about 12 or 15 people were selected from, or to represent university, extension, government, and
private industry.
Right? Private industry, yes. Exactly.
So it's a consortium, a true consortium.
Yes, it truly is. And these people meet fairly infrequently, but contact each other very frequently. They conduct projects that they've agreed to do, such as the directory of expertise that SAN decided to undertake, and ATRA, Appropriate Technology Transfer? Yeah, for rural areas. Yes. Anyway, ATRA is what we always call it. Information Center undertook the preparation of the directory and the database for it, and it's been issued and is going to be updated, and it's maintained on a database. It's one of our really good programs. It's an example of how, you know, we get together and decide something and then go off and do it. I was very pleased to have been one of the first members of SAN, and now you're a member.
Yes, and it's coordinated from here at the library.
Yes,
and again, that's thanks to your being involved.
A couple of years ago, we decided that we needed a staff coordinator to keep all these far-flung threads together and to help with communication. So we established SANLink, the center here at the library in FSIC, and Gabriel Hedges was hired to be the coordinator, and he still is.
I think one of the things that's very exciting is not only the consortium of from different areas, but also the fact that we're widespread across the country, and because of internet and communications, ATRA, for instance, is in Arkansas, and the regions, as you mentioned, are all over the country, and yet we're very much working together on pursuing our goals.
And we have our own discussion group on internet called SANET.
Yes, and people can belong to that. It doesn't cost anything. I think we're coming to the end of our hour or time, Jayne, but I wanted to give you a chance to leave a message for posterity, as you were always kind enough to do when we did our interviews with other people. If people were looking at this 10 years from now or 50 years from now, what would you hope to have them doing in the way of agriculture? All farming sustainably?
I truly think, I'm a little passionate about this topic, as you know. I truly think if the world does not begin to change rapidly towards more sustainable farming systems and more sustainable development, that the food situation for the growing population of the world will be in desperate straits, that the rate at which farmland is being eaten up by being paved over and by being ruined by over-application of chemicals, the way erosion continues despite current efforts, there will simply not be enough good soil in which to grow crops to feed the world. I devoutly hope that the trends that I have seen begin will continue, and that people looking at this a few years from now will think, why did they call that a novel approach? It's now conventional agriculture.
Thank you very much, Jayne. I hope so too.